Today we're going to be talking about epistemology, studying that which we know, how we can know what we know, justifying true knowledge. Epistemology. Epistemic rights we're going to be talking about. That's having a ground for real knowledge, true knowledge. So the question comes up, what can I provide as my ground for knowledge? What can I provide that supplies the rational essentials in order to account for the pre-environment, that which has to exist before knowledge? What can I provide that can be the ground or the source of this? In other words, I need a ground and a source for universals that are immutable, these things that are true always. Universal, in the way that I'm using the term, is something that's true yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It's true here and there and everywhere. It's universal. Also, it's immutable. It does not change. It's changeless. What can provide this pre-environment that has universals that are immaterial and immutable? On the face of it, it's very difficult to see how materialistic atheism can accommodate the existence of lawful, objective, epistemic rights. That is, these rights of knowledge which do not originate just in mere human opinion, because one opinion would be one opinion and another opinion would be another opinion, and how can you referee which one's true and which one's not if you just have only opinions, not based on something that doesn't change? Why would one diverse group of atoms be more rightful epistemically than another sundry collection of atoms? In other words, two human beings made up of only physical atoms. Why would one collection of atoms be more right than another collection of atoms? They both are just physical and only have physical properties, only matter in motion. Why would one group of atoms bouncing around be more right than another? This is very, very difficult to deal with if you're a materialistic atheist, if you don't believe in something that's spiritual, something that's non-physical. If one considers how the notion of epistemic rational rights can be grounded, we go to materialistic atheism and we see that it's faced with more than a dilemma. It's faced with a problem it cannot answer. On one hand, rational rights that are reduced merely to cognitive dispositions or neurobiochemical processes only can result in beliefs that are based on opinion and flow from just the brain chemistry. Now, the brain chemistry is always changing. It's in flux. So a brain cannot be the ground for changeless universals, universals that do not change because the brain changes. The brain is also a particular brain with particular chemicals, so it cannot ground universals. So a human brain or a collection of human brains lacks the ability to ground universals that do not change. An adequate analysis of true knowledge must involve objective epistemic lawfulness, and only God can supply that, and we'll see why. The rational pre-environment needed for objective lawfulness cannot be dependent on human biochemistry because that changes and is not universal. It's not possible that epistemic lawfulness can be explained in terms of some other idea of rational thought if it's not based on a ground that doesn't change and has universal scope, which of course is God. God alone has this. So I have argued and contended and proved that knowledge presupposes the falsity of materialistic atheism. Therefore, knowledge presupposes the truth of theism, a God that's immutable and universal and immaterial. And these and other attributes are from a God who's revealed only in Scripture, only in the Bible. No other known epistemic ground can offer this. The Mormon gods grow and change and become gods, so they cannot be the ground for changeless universals. So that rules them out. The Muslim scholars take from the Quran and the Hadith that Allah lies, so he cannot be a ground for the law of identity. A is A, because if he lies, he cannot be the ground for something that is always true. He also cannot be the ground for universals that do not change, because he's a monad. He cannot account for the diversity and the unity within the laws of logic. The laws of logic, like the law of identity, there's one law. Second law is a law of non-contradiction. And then there's the law of excluded middle. These three laws of logic are diverse, and yet they presuppose and require one another, so there's a unity there. And so Allah cannot be the ground. He cannot account for those. All other known gods also fail to account for these universals that are immutable and immaterial. You can go through my book on Christian philosophy and presuppositions, Examine the World Religions, at mikearobinson.com to see the refutations of numerous non-Christian religions. But the true and living God revealed in Scripture has revealed that he has the ontic capacity and being, and he has the attributes to ground universals that are unchanging, that are immaterial, as well as all the other essential requirements and tools of epistemic rights that are required. The God of the Bible alone exists, and the opposite of that is impossible. God lives.